You already know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. Sky Squad, we are back in the building. We are back in the building and we are live on this good Monday morning. Happy Monday to y'all. Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Sunday for those of you guys who I missed yesterday. If you are in the chat, go ahead and drop where you guys are watching from in the chatterization. What's going on? Shamar, what's going on? Crystal, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Y'all, we are live in the building. We are live in the building, y'all. We got to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're going to talk about the Kenya Moore of it all. Oh, is it 420? Is that today? Or was that yesterday? Happy 420 to those who celebrate as well. I'm a little late on that. Let us know where you're watching from in the chat. We got Alabama, Detroit, Vegas in the building. I got to go to Vegas in July. Georgia, Nigeria, Chi-Town, Mississippi in the building, Arkansas. I see y'all. Y'all, look, we got the Ponderosa coming up on next Sunday. This is going to be in Washington, D.C. It's the day party and brunch. The ticket link is in the description of this video. Come out, have a good time with us, 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern. There is going to be a DJ. There's going to be drinks, food. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. We are celebrating, so let's go. Let's go. Okay? So we'll come back to that in just 1 second. Let's get into the news, y'all. Let's get into the tea, the real tea. Y'all, Mia has finally let us know that she is no longer running through the streets of Potomac, but as Giselle did point out, she is indeed now a resident of Atlanta. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes. So it says, with every new season comes a new beginning, and I have some news to share. My family and I have made the decision to relocate to Atlanta, and with that, I will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Potomac next season. I think that for us longtime Housewives fan, we knew, of course, there would be mocktails. Of course. I think for those of us who are longtime Housewives fans, we knew that the moment that she left that reunion, that she was never going to return again on this show. Personally, I just kind of feel like when you leave a reunion like that, you have made a decision that you are not returning because the network is more than likely not going to invite you back. Okay? Skip a reunion, leave a reunion. It is highly unlikely that you will ever be invited back to the show. Shamar says she can take Britt Edie's spot on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Do y'all want to see Mia on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Do you feel like she would be a better fit for this new cast? Let us know. Well, here's the thing. I think that Mary was an exception. And I'm going to tell you why Mary was the exception to the rule. I think that Mary was an exception to the rule because I feel like they know that without Mary, that show is incomplete. Mary is such a critical aspect of Salt Lake City. And in fact, I feel like I heard that a large portion of the show was actually built around her, but I could be mistaken. Furthermore, I feel like there is an element of Salt Lake City that I probably shouldn't say, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think that you have a lot of viewers who are of color tuning in because they see somebody that they recognize. They recognize a familiar type of face. You know what I'm saying? Mary being a Black woman, I feel like it allows us to find somebody on that cast that we relate to. And I feel like they knew that. They knew that going in. And the type of character that Mary has is really TV gold. So if Mary wants to come back, I think she has a way to come back, right? And clearly we've seen it. And clearly we've seen the fruits of that, the benefits of bringing Mary back. But traditionally, when someone leaves or doesn't show up like this, that usually means that they're gone. 9 times out of 10, they are gone. Personally, I would probably think September because that's usually the month that they've been returning back. So, I mean, that's just me. That's just my thoughts on Mary versus some other housewives, right? Now, let's continue to move on. And it wouldn't matter in Mia's situation because she's moved to a different city in general, so it wouldn't work for her on Potomac anyway. But Giselle did tell us that she was already there. Anyway, Mia goes on to say the past 4 seasons have been an unforgettable journey, one filled with growth, lessons, and so many incredible memories. I want to thank Truly Original, Bravo, NBC Universal, and Andy Cohen for believing in me and giving me the space to share my story. To my castmates, thank you for the laughs, the lessons, and the unforgettable moments. And to the amazing fans, your love and support has meant everything to me. I'll always carry that with me. The next chapter is already full of exciting opportunities, and I can't wait to take you along for the ride. Big things are coming. She says, quote, I don't just make headlines, I make history. Atlanta, brace yourself. The empire has expanded. Hashtag legacy in the making. So there we have it. Here's the thing about Mia that I feel like I firmly believe. I feel like Mia's gonna be all right. I feel like Mia's gonna find her way. She's gonna get to Atlanta. I mean, I think at her heart and in her spirit, I think that the woman is a hustler. And I mean that in the best way possible. She's gonna hustle herself likely into another franchise of some sort, and she'll be back on top in no time. That's what I think about her in terms of her work ethic, right? Now, whether or not she appears on some other show, I don't know. That remains to be seen. I don't see them hiring her for Real Housewives of Atlanta, likely because she quit the show. Nah, no, could now listen. Here's the thing though. Could I see her maybe doing a traders? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that the way she left, I just don't know that we would see her again. But I mean, you look at Garcelle. Garcelle left the reunion, but Garcelle actually stayed for the most part at the reunion. So she just simply left when they were trying to take pictures. I think there's a little bit of a difference there and why she might be also added back at some point in time if she chose to go back. But I don't see Garcelle ever returning back to that show. I just don't see it. That's just my thoughts. All right. Let's talk about we got to talk about this, y'all. I couldn't even bring myself to have this discussion over the weekend because I was like, it's Easter weekend. I cannot I cannot ruin the Easter vibes by having the discussion that I feel like we need to have about Kenya and her confessional. Um, I made this analogy yesterday, and I know that some people are going to probably be offended by it. You're probably going to be upset by it, but I feel like watching the full confessional videos, this was the thought that I was left with. This was my honest thought that I was left with as I watched it that night. For me, I feel like Kenya Moore asserting just continuing to assert and remind us that she is the moment, she is the moment, she is the moment at the end of her video felt to me like watching an old Hollywood star, like someone who used to be like a Hollywood star trying to relive their glory days. The reason why I feel like that is because I feel like Kenya Moore doesn't need to tell us and remind us that she's the moment. She doesn't need to tell us anything. She doesn't need to say that. She doesn't need to continue to throw that out there because, quite frankly, making moments for her, that moment has passed. It has passed, right? In terms of what she's talking about with that show. And the reason I feel like that is because I think that as she states in her confessionals clip, she states that they invited her to the reunion, then they disinvited her to the reunion. And I'm like, okay, At this point, this tells me that they were already in some way, shape, or form prepared to let you go. They were already prepared to let you go. That is, I think, the hard, harsh truth of this situation. That's the hard, harsh truth of this situation. And I think it's time that everybody just kind of came to grips with that, whether we like it or not. That is the case. And I'm going to touch on a couple of different points that really lead me to believe that this is what's really happening, and just follow along with me. Whether you agree or not, that's fine, right? I get it. But after watching this confessionals clip, these are the things that come to my mind. You have to be very careful playing the TV villain, right? Or playing the villain role in general, right? Because ultimately you can look at Brandy Glanville as the perfect example of what ultimately happens with the villain, right? Brandy Glanville for the longest time seemed to have been rewarded for her villainous behavior on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Um, but ultimately you have to keep topping yourself as the villain, right? You have to almost either go lower and lower and lower in order to continue to have that title. And ultimately what ends up happening is you blur the line between what's acceptable for low behavior and then what is unacceptable for low behavior. And Brandy Glanville slapping Lisa Vanderpump, I would have thought would have been the low that she realized it was here, right? So when she's invited to girls trip and she's, she's having she's having fun doing the things, and it's making TV and the people are laughing and, all of that, again, it may not feel low, right? It may not feel low at the time, but it's going there, right? It's going there. And so ultimately what happens with her, with Caroline Manzo, it crosses a line for Carolyn Manzo, right? So now, in an effort to maintain this moment that you like to make, I feel like what then happens is the line becomes, I veered into the realm of what is socially or unacceptable, at least for the network and for the person involved. The same is This is the exact same thing that I feel like happened with Kenya Moore, right? She has sort of taken the villain role, right? And she wanted to herself make a moment out of somebody else's moment. And ultimately, she went to a place that went below the line of what the cast felt was unacceptable. Not to mention the fact that this was done in a in a public forum, right? Maybe not public, but a private public forum, being her salon opening, where it was more than just the cast. So you can't take that incident back. You can't not really show it. I mean, you could, but then it's already been leaked all over the place because there were people in attendance that are not on the cast. So how do you now control this situation? You really almost can't. So there's a part of me that feels like I just felt like the network was already kind of going to wash their hands of her anyway, right? Now, watching her confessionals video, I just kind of felt like, Kenya, I need to understand whether or not you are in defense of what you did or whether you are sorry for what you did. That becomes difficult for me to really understand as I watch it, because her defense for herself is the network didn't do anything about this perceived threat. Now, Kenya has a point for me when she says that I don't know this girl, so I don't know whether she was serious or not when she made this comment about the pow pows. For me, I don't know you like that, and you're saying these types of things, somebody needs to do something. If nobody does nothing, I can't film right now. She cannot be in my scenes. She cannot come nowhere near me. She cannot do anything until y'all get her under control. And if getting her under control meant that she has to come and humbly apologize to me, then that is what it is. There has to be a resolution amongst all parties, and they have to all know what that looks like. But when you can't then take matters into your own hands. And the last thing that I want to do is antagonize somebody who is bragging about waving a pow pow in my direction. I just can't do it. I can't risk my life. I can't risk my safety. I cannot risk my business for that. Furthermore, what makes me so tired in this situation, so weary, is this is the second year in a row where on a reality TV show, I have had to talk about somebody exposing somebody's intimate moments. Um, and now we've got to have a whole season's worth of discourse around the topic. It happened on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and now it is happening on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And personally speaking, I am tired. I don't want to be discussing this when I'm trying to watch my shows that are about entertainment, when we live in a world where already we are seeing triggering things on the news every single day. I don't want to have these discussions when I'm talking to y'all about reality TV. I just don't. So to me, I'm over it. I am over it. And to be quite frank, this is what I believe. I believe they were phasing Kenya out since last year. They never showed her salon or anything. I don't know that they felt like she had enough to offer in terms of where they were trying to take this show. Whether or not that's factual or not, that's what I believe the network was feeling personally. Personally. Um Well, for me, I don't really care where the images are. I don't care that they exist. I just don't wanna be talking about it. That's my thing. Like, I just don't. Not on a reality TV show that's supposed to be fun. I get that there is some level of shade and drama that's gonna occur, but I guess I'm just over the topic because this is the second time, the second year in a row, we're having we're having a discussion about whether or not this is the right thing to do or not. That is what I don't understand. At your event, Simply Shamar says Kenya's desire to get the opening shown and retaliating against Brit cloud her judgment. I'm happy she took accountability, but maybe it's too little, too late. Well, for me, and thank you for that super chat. For me, the problem then becomes, Kenya apologizes in her video, right? But I mean, when are we supposed to accept an apology, right? Because she wasn't ready to accept Brit's apology. And rightly so, because people's apologies like that takes time. Like, I don't know what you could be crazy. I'm not going to be around you until I know that this whole thing has been vetted and I know that I am safe. But so I agree with Kenya on the part that something needed to be done. Like, something needed to happen. But I just don't think that she should have took matters into her own hands. And so for me, as Kenya is apologetic in her video, I also feel like, but Britt was also apologetic when she came to your salon. So when do we accept an apology? Right? When? When do we when, and then the apology, who is that to? Is that to the general public? Is that to the network? Is that to Britt herself? Who is the apology to? And then when Kenya says that she did not let someone trick her out of her spot, but you did. You did. Ultimately, your anger became so much that it clouded your judgment about what to do at your event. And I do get you want that event shown. And I felt in my spirit that when she gave her speech, that speech was not only for Brit. I felt like that speech was for production. Like, y'all are gonna show my stuff. I have been here. I have been putting in the work. I have led this show for such a long time. I have done it. I have looked good while doing it. I felt like that is a lot of where that speech came from, and that frustration that I worked hard on this and y'all didn't even show it last year. Personally, that's what I think. Um, and I just think that Kenya Moore has to be smarter than that because she has stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, I don't know. And so just watching the confessionals video, I just felt like it made me feel sad because I felt like I want to see Kenya win. Then this is just me as a person, right? As a person, I just want to see her win. I want to see her win. And I don't want to see her name mixed up with, oh, this is what this person did back in the day. And I was the one who showed it, and I showed it at my salon. No, no. And I get, here's the thing. People are saying in the comments, where I can see, oh, well, Britt did this first. Okay, yeah, Britt did do that first. Okay, so how you choose to respond to what somebody does to you says more about you than it does them. So that person can operate in whatever darkness that they want to operate in. What are you going to do as a result of that? That's on you. How they act is what they do. What I do is what I do, is on me. So it becomes a situation where, like, what are we doing now? And furthermore, I'm just going to say this. I think, you know what? Actually, you know what? I was going to ban somebody in the chat, but I'm not, because you're here for some reason. And I don't know why you would continue to watch me if you don't like me, or if you don't like what I'm saying. But since you're still here and you're adding to my algorithm and you are giving me engagement, I'm going to let you continue. Meanwhile, here's the thing. Um, I would prefer that Kenya get on her YouTube channel and change the narrative. I don't want her to live in this moment anymore. I don't want to hear about this moment anymore. I want her to get on her YouTube channel, and I want her to give us lifestyle content. I want her to show us the struggles of a salon owner. I want her to, talk about Brooklyn and her next book. I want her to shift this narrative away from this moment, because the moment is over. And I want her to move into a space where she is now embracing business owner, lifestyle influence, writing books with her daughter, growing her brand and her empire outside of this space, because it can be done. That's what I want. Because the longer she stays in this space, the more it just clouds what she's able to really do. And I just think that branding wise, I would move beyond all of it. Because at the end of the day, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it is meant to be, it is up to me. What does that mean? Her salon and the growth of her salon and her business is going to be solely on Kenya. So the more important thing is to focus on where the coins are coming from now. Make some movies, get out there, get back into Lifetime. Those are the areas that Kenya Moore can easily excel in. Those are easy wins. And I think that if she focused on those things versus focusing on what happened last year, she will be much better off. And then the people, the deals, the TV shows, they will come to her. That's what I think. She could grow her YouTube platform so large by consistent effort, posting content, and creating her own, building her own empire that does not revolve around anything that networks tell you that you can and can't do. And I think that's why you see Nini's show on YouTube is such a success, because she's taking matters into her own hands. You do not need the system to make you or break you. You can build your own system and then you make it. And that's period. Y'all got to know this. Y'all got to know this. And you got to stop thinking in terms of just, I'm operating in the network space. Bump that. Bump that. Bump that. Bump it. All right, y'all. So let's talk about the episode itself now, because I really I'm not talking about that subject no more. I mean, I will talk about if Kenya has something else going on, but I'm not talking about nobody's poster boards or nothing like that no more. I'm just not gonna do it. I did it all last year, and I'm not doing it this year. And that's on period. Um, I think that there comes a point in time when you just have to be like, I ain't doing that. I think having these conversations is beneath all of us, to be honest with you. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. We got to discuss the Real Housewives of Atlanta episode. What is this? Season 16, episode 7. It's called Nashville Hold'em. The ladies travel to Nashville to get away for Portia's birthday, but tension soon follows. Drew encounters startling news in court as Britt picks up the pieces from recent allegations. She receives support from an unexpected housewife. All right, so let's talk about the episode in and of itself. This was an interesting episode. I do feel like sometimes the more we see of Portia and her, like as a sort of anchor on this show, the more it reminds me of her time on Portia's Family Matters. Sometimes Portia comes across a bit like a bit of a spoiled brat. Sometimes is that just me? And I think her beef with Drew feels very, very one-sided. It feels very one-sided to me. I don't think that Drew is really that concerned about what's happening with Portia. I did wonder why they took out of the episode because I didn't see it. I watched it twice. They took out of the episode Drew talking about Portia's Rolls Royce potentially being um, repossessed. Was that in the episode or not? Because I felt like it was taken out of the episode. Somebody let me know in the chat. I'm just trying to pull up some key scenes here that I want to discuss. Let me know if y'all happen. I mean, because I felt like it was in the episode. Okay, because I kept trying to see it, and I'm like, I didn't see it. I saw it in the preview clips, but I didn't see it. Keisha said it was in the episode. Shamar says I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I don't know. I just don't remember seeing it personally, but that's just me. And again, I might have could have blinked twice. All right. I might have could have blinked twice, but I don't remember seeing it. This episode was heavily focused on Drew, which was interesting to me. Was Drew on Watch What Happens Live last night? Did they do Watch What Happens Live? I didn't see Watch What Happens Live. I do know that the ladies will be doing an after show. They did drop some clips earlier about, the after show and all that good stuff. And I'm like, thank God, because we needed something. Phaedra was also included in those after show clips. So you'll see Britt, Portia, and Phaedra together. You'll see Kelly and Shamia together. And then you will see Drew, Cynthia, and Angela together as well. So we'll see it. Oh, everybody said there was no Watch What Happens Live. That's crazy because Drew still hasn't done Watch What Happens Live. And it has been, 7 episodes? So I wonder if we need to be worried about Drew on this show as they be trying to phase people out. Do I need to be worried about Drew? Somebody let me know in the chat. Speaking of Drew, okay, before I get to her divorce, the first half of the episode, the first couple of beats of the episode are different people having conversations. Angela's meeting with Drew, where she tells Drew, I checked in with Marcus Jordan. He says you're not related to him. A lot of people felt like Drew was joking anyway, but Drew, to me, and I'm going to explain to you what is confusing to me about Drew in just a second. But I want you to keep in mind this Marcus Jordan and this Michael Jordan connection thing that I'm talking to you about right now, because it's going to come back up. So they meet, they have drinks outside where, they kind of catch up about the Ponderosa with Britt and the peace brunch or whatever it was, and how Drew got an invite from Britt to go to lunch or dinner to drinks to sort of, I guess, hash things out or get on the same page or something like that. There's a lot of shade being kind of thrown Britt's way in this moment. You see Kenya. No, we see. I'm sorry, not Kenya. We see Portia. We see. I mean, this is the impact that Kenya has on the show. I'm still. I mean, she's still in my brain. So it is such a shame that we don't get to see the trajectory of where she could have been. But here we are. We see Portia, Cynthia. I think it's Kelly and Shamia having a discussion about Portia's birthday. We learned that Portia does not want to invite Drew to her birthday party, right? Now, traditionally, somebody has to do the inviting of Drew because it's an all-cast trip. Now, again, it's up to Drew whether or not Drew wants to go, but I can see the producer saying to Angela, you need to invite this girl. You need to invite Drew to this event because she can't be left out of this group trip, period. That's just, I mean, that's how production works. Whether they told her, somebody probably hinted that Drew needs to be there. So it made the most sense that it's Angela. Now, is Angela right in doing that? No, because don't bring nobody that I don't want to my birthday party. Like because you can leave too. I barely know you. So we have those scenes kind of going side by side. We get a weird scene with Britt and her husband checking out Ferraris. I mean, I don't know what that scene was supposed to give us. I always feel like a scene should inform the narrative in some way, shape, or form, and I don't really feel like that did anything for me. The scene that did something for me, that did do something, was an interesting scene with Drew and Britt. So they get out to dinner, and this was very interesting. I love a one-on-one scene. I don't know why this scene gave me a feeling of like Robin and Karen from, I don't know if it was season 2 or season 3, where Karen had the issues with her taxes and the two of them met. I don't know why this reminds me of that scene. But in this scene, Drew was so housewives shady. Drew was like housewives shady in this scene. But I think a lot of people would have been here for it because let's get into it. Okay. Girl, did you sell the cat? Did you sell the kitty kitty? Did you sell the cuckoo cooter? Did you sell it? Or not? Did you do the work on film? Were you on film doing the do? Okay, I need answers. Give me answers. I think Britt is caught off guard, but then Britt goes on to say, "Yeah, I did some cam work, this, that, and the third." Let me ask you guys a question: is doing cam work, would you guys equate that to being a stripper? Would they be similar? I'm curious. I mean, because I'm like, because we done seen some strippers come through these shows too. So, but Drew, I mean, Drew did the work. Drew was. You gonna give us the tea, girl, or not? Like, what did you do? Did you sell it? How much did you sell it for? Did you make a lot of money doing this? Give me the details, girl. And so, Britt kind of, I mean, she can't even say the word. Like, it's like she kind of fumbles her way through like what she did or she didn't do. Eh, I don't know when the perfect time to tell people that you did the cam work is. I mean, I don't know when do you say it right off the bat? Like, I mean, because Mia was I'm going somewhere with this because I'm equating it back to Mia. Mia came on to Housewives basically saying, "Yeah, girl, I met my man at the script club where I was working and they were serving steaks and the lobsters." They were serving steaks, lobsters, crackers, caviar, wine, champagne, charcuterie. They were serving the things. There were poles. We could swing around the poles, all the things. Ball gowns. There were ball gowns. Interesting point, right? Mia didn't want it weaponized against her like it was against Kim and Nene, because Nene was very vocal about being a stripper at one point too. In my 20s. Remember, she got into the argument with Claudia. I was in my 20s. Remember, in my 20s. Okay, I'm about to go off the rails. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so let me catch myself. Okay, so we, again, like I said, we've seen this type of story. So to me, none of this is all of this is much ado about nothing. Now, she claims that the person that she was, I guess, given the give me some head, that she was, doing the toppy to was, I guess, an ex or something like that. But Drew, to the group, has claimed that she knows who the man was. Maybe potentially, I don't know. But girl, I was joking. Okay, so let's go back to Marcus Jordan and Michael Jordan and being the cousin. This is my problem that I have with Drew, is that I have a hard time always kind of understanding when she is being truthful or not. I forgot about Erica Jane, Danielle Staub, right? I forgot about these people. In my 20s, okay? Oh my God, I love me some Rodney. Love him. Okay. Another one of the greats on in this space. In my 20s, And so for me, Drew, in this moment, as she is explaining to Britt, like, yeah, girl, I was just kind of joking. What? This the thing you want to be joking about? And you was just caught in the joke about being cousins with Michael. Like, do you joke a lot about things that could be led to feel like they're true until like somebody calls you out about it, and now I got to discover that you were actually just joking? That don't feel like jokes to me. It feels like it comes across as a continuous stream of lie. That's what it comes across like. And I don't want that for you, Drew. And it never makes sense to me why you're doing it. It's like it feels like somebody that's just lying for no reason. Like I can tell you guys a joke without you feeling like I'm lying about something. Like why would I do that? Angela, your friend, even asked you, why would you lie about that? It makes no sense. Okay, so yeah, and if it had just been about the cousin thing, I could give you that. But the problem again with Drew is that this has been a thing for her on the show. People have a problem with believing her. You saw it last season when her and Candy got into it. You just continue to see it season after season after season. So that is why I feel like Drew is sometimes very difficult to believe. And then you tell people that you know the person that was in the photo with Britt, like that girl, like that's what you want to joke about. I just don't. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it because it's like nonsensical. Like you didn't even have to say that. You didn't even have to give it any of this to us. You got to find another way to be funny. Like that's just how I feel. She was so good in this scene that it was underscored to me by the fact that you've now come into this like, ooh, girl, I was just playing again. Y'all know how I just be playing. I just say whatever I just say whatever. I know the Pope. Oh, okay. Now I got to go and be a detective to find out if you really know him. Like, no, I don't want to do all that. Speaking of Drew and this and being mysterious, girl, what is in these files that you do not want us to see? Her and Ralph go to court. Babe, let me tell you something. They got all of these shenanigans going on, and I don't know what they are. They live in the same house, got to take 2 different carpools down to the courthouse. Y'all might as well just ride together. Save some money. Save some money. You ride in one half of the van, he ride in the other. Okay, everybody got their little legal team with them and whatnot. Woo-de-woo. They got to go down to the courthouse in the separate vehicles and the Ubers and all of these things like that. His lawyer is claiming she's trying to grab the money or whatever like that. And then she's like, I want to keep these records sealed. I'm trying to protect him and my kids. I'm trying to protect him. And he's like, girl, release the Kraken. Open the vault. Show all the files, right? So why is she so like it almost feels to me like whatever is in those files, girl, are they more to deal with you? I mean, I guess I'm having a hard. This is another one of those situations where I'm having a hard time, and maybe what it is that Drew doesn't explain herself very well. I don't know. Maybe it's not that. Maybe I'm just looking at the totality of everything that has happened in the episode that it just feels so confusing to me because Ralph is celebratory that these records are being unsealed, and Drew is the one who is very, very emotionally upset about it. So I'm just basing I'm basing my reaction on what I see on camera. What I see on camera is one person is very, very upset and distraught about the release of these files, while the person that she says that they involved is very celebratory that they're being released. I don't get it. And the fact of the matter is, like, I still don't know what happened with you and Ty. Are we ever gonna find that out? Allegedly. See, I'm the only one to ask that question. But you know, Shamar, we usually be in line anyway. Okay. What is the reason? What is the reason you so upset about these files for? Now, granted, again, if it's to protect the kids, I get it. But he seems like it's on some other level. Like it ain't got nothing to do with the kids. So I'm just questioning what's going on. And also he is very happy to be back in the basement. Very happy. Very, very happy to be back in the basement. Um, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. He allegedly hasn't released his finances for the court, which is insane to me that we're going through this after about a year and a half or a year or 2 years at this point, that the finances have still not been like, girl, just get his tax returns. Can't somebody just subpoena his tax returns? I don't know. Like it just, I have so many questions, but whatever. Moving on. Um, okay, so the girls head down to Nashville. Can somebody riddle me this? Is Nashville a very long way from Atlanta? How far is Nashville from Atlanta? Somebody let me know in the chat. Like, is that I I don't know. Anyway, I gotta say this because I love her to death. I love her personality. But in terms of Shamia, I think that Shamia's style to me, I would prefer Shamia to maybe wear a little less labels. Okay. I think she gets the style rep, like I don't want to say bad style rep, but I think she gets negative reviews on her style because a lot of times it looks like she's thrown on a whole bunch of labels. And I don't think you necessarily need to do that because somebody as rich as you, I think you could just be wearing the most chicest white blouse and pant combination and still because she's naturally beautiful. She's naturally has a glow about her. You can literally see her aura bursting through the screen and it is bright and vibrant. Girl, like take off one or two labels, please. One or two will be fine for me. All right. I mean, I like one good label, one, and I don't want to see the print all over it. Okay, unless it's monochromatic. But when I see all of those, it'd be like an overload to my senses. No, we don't need it. In her confessional where she has on that, is it a blue? Is it like a periwinkle thing? It's almost like a thing that's like lifted up to her face and she's got the bob. That is so simple and elegant. That's all you need, in my opinion. But that's just me. That's just me. It's been bothering me and I won't go say nothing. I really won't go say nothing. But I had to get it out of my system today. Okay, because I thought about it while I was watching the episode. And I just am determined to just give y'all exactly how I feel today because I can't cut no corners today because I'm mentally drained. Okay. Um Portia has decided to bring 5011 girlfriends on this trip. It felt like let's audition some new girls for this show because we done just lost Kenya Moore. And you know, it, power to the people that got invited, all except Drew. But whatever. Angela is late because Angela is just in her own little world, and I absolutely appreciate it. Angela to me is almost kind of like this show's Mary. Now that I think about it, Angela is kind of like marching to the beat of her own drum. She's just kind of just showing up places and just kind of like, oh, I'm here. I wear a size 12 shoe. I'm here. And now that I think about it, Angela is kind of like this show's Mary. Like, what are you doing here? I don't know, but I like it. And I like just when you show up and you don't care. She don't care. She can face every single person in the room and she just be in her own little world. I live for Angela. Angela is one of the best finds for Atlanta in a very long time. Actually, to me, I mean, the trifecta of Kelly, Shamia, and Angela, these were really, really, really good picks for Housewives. Really, really, really good picks. Angela specifically, because she just is just off the wall to me. She is bonkers. And I love every single moment of when she's on screen. You know, we find out about her nose job. She was. Did she have some more nose work done when she ran into Kelly and Britt down at the mall? Because Kelly was like, I mean, because Britt was like, did she might have been trying to dip and dodge from us because she had just gotten some work to her nose. So was that around the time where she got the nose thing, some Botox added to the nose, and her son told her she looked like an animation creature or something like that? I said, well, Lord have mercy. Show me the nose Botox. I want to see it. Show me it. Give me more peeps into Angela's world. I'm interested. Girl, what are you doing over there? Okay. What are you really doing? I didn't know they added Botox to your nose to fill it out some. I thought that the point of your nose job was to get rid of the nose. Whatever. Yoshi. And you know, Angela in good old housewives fashion, deny, deny, deny. Girl, no, I spoke to them. I wasn't hiding. Can you imagine Angela's wig dangling on like Karen Huger's when it was messed up and tousled and they was trying to fix it at the thing? Angela and her wig looking like cousin It running around the mall because she trying not to let nobody see what she looked like after she done got the puffed up face after the Botox. Baby, let me tell you. I can see it. I can see Angela just running around with a pair of big old sunglasses on, trying to duck and dodge, trying not to be seen up in Neiman Market. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Okay, so anyway, Angela finally makes her way down to the play. So can we get into these room situations? I'm going on for a really long time today, but I got to get all of this out. Anyway, can we get into the room situation? Why do y'all continue? Listen, I'm sorry. At this big age, if you try to put me in a room with a whole bunch of bunk beds and or a room with a whole bunch of twin beds, I'm not staying there. I'm not staying there. You put your little girlfriends that's not on the show in these rooms, but you will not put me in this child's room with and try to make me sleep in a crib. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. I am not. The only person that could fit in them beds is Kelly. Okay, because I believe she's 5'2" or something. But I myself, anybody above 5'7" need to have their own bed in their own room with their own bathroom. Okay. I'm thinking I want a rich person trip. Hello? Hello? If you're not giving me rich person vibes on this trip when I'm being filmed for a TV show that is about lifestyle and luxury, girl, I'm going to stay at the W downtown. Nope. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I get it for the sake of the drama of it all, but I mean, bump the drama. Show me luxury. Show me luxury. You put your little girlfriends in these rooms. You put Heidi and them in these rooms. Don't put me in there. I signed a contract. Y'all need to start putting that in y'all contracts. I will not stay in a shabby room. And if you try to put me there for the sake of drama, cancel it. Cancel Christmas. I'm not doing it. So anyway, that's why I said only Kelly can fit in these beds. That's it. Nope. I don't know. Listen, here's the thing. Y'all know we all of a certain age. Let's just go ahead and say have a thing. Let's call a thing a thing. We all of a certain age. Y'all, a lot of y'all in 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and some of us 70s, right? I say us because I'm talking about the community here. We grown. We need give me a proper bed size at the very least. Ugh. Why? Give me some. Do you not have any respect for me? Meanwhile, Angela shows up and, immediately she is like, y'all, I invited Drew. And Portia's like, what? I don't even like her like that. Well, do you like her or do you not like her? Because last time we all heard from you, you said you don't really have a problem with her. You can be cordial with her. Girl, she on this cast. What you trying to do? You trying to take away her check? Because if you don't invite her to the cast trip, she's gonna be missing some days. She missing days of filming, she missing some checks because she ain't gonna be in them episodes unless they value her that much. But I gotta be wondering about how much they value in her because they ain't even put her on Watch What Happens Live. They ain't even sit that girl out for press. It's been 7 weeks. You done put Cynthia, the friend of the show, on Watch What Happens Live before you to put Drew in it, and Drew got an album to promote. Where is the justice for Drew? Justice for Drew. Justice for Drew. Meanwhile, Portia, in my opinion, should have been like, girl, no. She is not staying here. You could stay with her at the Holiday Inn down the street, but you're not gonna stay. She's not gonna stay here. I just feel like this. If you're gonna really be bad about it, be bad about it. But don't wait until you get in front of your squadron of your cauldron of women, girlfriends, and then you want to break bad on Miss Angela, 8 feet tall with 13-inch heels. No. No. So you should have just said something right then and there. And you should have said, listen, and I barely know you. So you want to stay with Drew? You can arrange for her room down at the Holiday Inn, okay? But she's not staying here in these tiny rooms. Anyway, so Portia feels like Angela bullied her into making Drew be able to stay there, and I'm like, girl, like what? So anyway, Britt then takes the opportunity to call out Angela for running in. They ran into her looking like Cousin It or whatever like that. She ran away from them. She boot scoot and boogied onto another area of the Neiman Marcus. And then Britt wants to know, like, what's up? What's tea? You know what I'm saying? Because like I hugged you when we was at the mall and you was trying to run away from us looking like Cousin It. Like, what's up? What's up, boo? And Angela's like, girl, I hugged you. We good. Like, let it go. And so Britt's like, okay, well, that's fine. But too late for a peace accord because Brittany already told her husband on camera that she has heard that Angela's husband Charles had a baby on her. I was like, girl, they didn't just somebody didn't just spill all of your tea on a poster board. Now you spilling somebody else's tea? I would think you would want to stay away from spilling tea. I really would. Like, Angela asked you about your license because everybody would have had questions about the license. I've had an insurance license. There are people in the chat who have had insurance license in the state that she's actually in. So yes, there are some aspects of what she's saying that makes sense to me about, you want to have good standing, to a certain degree, but it's a longer process for them to go into this whole investigation and then take your license. So somebody with a license is going to ask you these questions because people who watch the show have licenses. So these are fair questions that you're going to be asked. And Britt, you can't be so defensive. You can't be so defensive. And I think you don't want to come across as being celebratory that Kenya's no longer here. Granted, she did something to you, but at the end of the day, you got to recognize Kenya has known these ladies for a long time. Kenya is well known in the fandom. You can't just, the situation is sad all around. So it's no need to celebrate the fact that you're there and somebody else is not. That's not going to read well for you, right? Now, I don't know what happened. There's a point in this episode that is made that Kelly says specifically. We've seen Kelly with her stylist, who is phenomenal, by the way. I don't know if y'all follow Paris on Instagram. Phenomenal stylist, right? But there's a point where Kelly's like, oh, well, Britt doesn't have a stylist, so I let Kelly use, Britt doesn't have a stylist, so I let Britt use my stylist. Is this going to come up later in some way, shape, or form? Because I feel like they keep making it a point to reference Kelly and her stylist. Veronica says, Bravo is beginning to run from the reality. They don't address the tea. Candy Phaedra, Portia Fallon, Kenya Britt, no follow-up. The tea is online. And yeah, I mean, thank you for the super chat. A lot of the tea is online. It is. But that also becomes a problem. And I've said this before. Your filming and airing time have got to turn into what a Love and Hip Hop does. Love and Hip Hop, they skip the reunion format now and they just get right back into it. So it seems like it's never ending. So you will see Love and Hip Hop I don't know, this is the longest season of Love and Hip Hop, by the way, but you will likely see them again in the fall. Period. And so what happens is Love and Hip Hop can throw something out on social media, but they know that we're going to see it in about a month or two. With Bravo, it's going to be a year before we see it. So the tea feels like, well, if I really want the tea, I can just go online. Did she say that too? I saw it, but I don't remember that part. Listen, Kenya made a lot of good points in her video. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I want her to focus on building. And I think she can do that. All right. Yeah, you might come back on as a guest, but she never made it back to the main attraction. So that was going to be my question. Are they going to fall out over the stylist, right? Who does amazing work? Is that going to be the thing? That's what I'm wondering. That's the pieces of the puzzle that I'm trying to put together myself, just looking ahead, right? All right. So we get past all of that. There's an interesting little section that we have with Angela, Portia, and Shamia and this affirmations pillow. I really didn't understand what that was all about. But the next thing that we get to see is the girls are all headed out for dinner, right? Headed out for their first dinner in Nashville. And it's Portia with her gang of girls and the cast, minus Drew. Side note, Angela sliding them boots down the walkway. Okay, Angela, please do not give me that stank walk in them boots ever again. All right. That stank, I cannot. Ooh, when somebody be dragging their feet on the ground like that, it's like nails on the chalkboard. I was like, oh, girl, stop. She just slinking that, just dragging. I was like, girl, I know you tired because you was holding up so much of the show. But girl, like, I'm gonna need you to pump it, okay? I'm gonna need you to pump it in them boots. Pump it on down that walkway. I'd rather hear click clack than a slide any day. Meanwhile, they get to dinner, and here's where I feel like Portia turns into a brat. I gotta say it. It comes up that Drew has been invited to the Ponderosa party for Portia by Angela. And Angela's like, well, I just thought that this would be the perfect time to clear the tape, to clear the air, to start fresh. And Portia rightly says, no, it's about me. Okay, that's fine. This is one of those scenarios where Portia is correct. This is about her. but it also still lends itself to Portia is kind of a brat on the show at times. And she's very much like, it's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. And granted, that's true. And, Angela is technically wrong. You've been on this show long enough to understand what's being done. And to be quite fair, the beef between you and Drew feels very one-sided at this point. Because Drew is playing passive aggressive, like, girl, I don't know why she's upset. I'm just calling Dennis, hanging out with him. I'm at his club. He's got me some bottles. I had a bad week. He's my savior. He's my best friend. He's my brother. He's my producer. He is my everything. Everything. He is my all in all. He is the one. He is above all. He is omnipotent. All of those things. Yes, I get it, girl. But we know two things for certain. The likelihood of Portia of Dennis and Drew having some type of dalliance, okay, illicit dalliance, we know is probably not happening. Don't believe it. I don't believe it for one bit. So as somebody in the girl group tells the whole table that Drew is actually giving some fellatios or something like that to Dennis, and everybody's like, oh. I'm like, now come on now. Portia, you know that ain't the case. You know that ain't the case. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, is that all we're gonna be talking about this season is blowjobs? Sorry to the kids. I apologize. Is it too late to apologize? But I ain't got no cut cards today, so we're just gonna have to say what we gotta say. Then for some reason, Portia angrily goes in on Angela, talking about, girl, is your glue holding down your wig or something like that? And now, granted, that's a valid question for Angela because she be fighting with the glue. She ain't never met a glue she didn't want to have a fight with. But I didn't really understand. I mean, it was her. She was giving a whole lot of like energy, like pumped up energy, and it felt like, girl, you pumped up because you're in front of your friends. Is that it? Like, is that it? Because Angela is just there again, whether she got her wig glue tacked down on her head or not. She is still there, still standing in her size 15s or whatever she say. She is still standing right there, and I love it. Okay, I absolutely love it. As crazy as Portia be acting with these girls, she be going off on everybody, and they just be like, "Nope, I said what I said." Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now what? Okay. I invited her. Sure did. I will say this: Portia did look good in her Cowboy Carter outfit. She did look good. I can't even hold on. She looked good in her Cowboy Carter outfit. I mean, I was like, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. Anyway, that's my thoughts on everything. An hour later, that's my thoughts. Just some simple thoughts, not too much today. Very, very demure, very 10-minute video. Yeah, but I will say this was my last time ever speaking on that incident. I just can't do it no more. I won't. I shan't. I can't. I won't. I ain't. Yes. Size 16. You say? Is that what it was? Size 16. Wait, who's boring? Who's boring? Who's boring? Miss Everything. Oh yeah, she did wrong. I ain't gonna hold you. She wrong. She wrong. Yvette, she is. Oh yes, Yvette. You better come on now. I see you looking good. Anyway, y'all be distracting me. Hey boo. Hey boo. Hey. Size 20. In my 20s. Hey, Symmetry. Um, I mean, listen, it is a little bit of a catch-22 for Portia, right? But the problem is when the show focuses on Portia and Portia is not when the show makes Portia a centerpiece, it's easier now to see very layered versions of Portia, who is a complicated character. And when you put her as I don't want to say a side character, but a supporting role, she's able to simply be the funny, sexy, flirty, like almost kind of ditzy, good looking girl, right? Like the hot girl, right? But when you put her in the centerpiece role, this is where you begin to see that, yes, she is a flawed character on the show, as you saw with Portia's Family Matters. So this is the gift and the curse of being the centerpiece, because they're going to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think you're going to see some of that come into play next week. So when your favorite character becomes the centerpiece, prepare for the camera to show all angles. When you see every angle of a person, it is not always pretty. And so we're going to have discussions that may feel unpleasant about that person, but it is simply because it is a reflection of what they give us in the episode. It is not personal, ever. Okay? That's what I want you guys to understand. They are all flawed. Yes. But what happens is, and we talk about that, right? I mean, while Shamia is literally an effervescent presence on the show, she got to fight them labels. Okay? She got to take a label off, right? There's a little bit of flaw there, right? But because she got that personality, I don't care what she wearing. She could throw on every label she want to, but she still shines. Because you could fix that. She could take a label off. Thank you, Toy. I mean, and regardless of who's there, you're gonna get the good, the bad, the ugly of them. But one of the great things about Shamia is she's gonna give you that regardless, right? She's gonna tell you, this is what's going on with, these are the issues that I'm having in my personal life. This is what's going on with my kids. This is what's going on. These are the issues that I face with my family. These are the hard, like, she will give you all of what you want. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all today. I really, really do. I really do. They are. They really, really are. I believe that as well, Vanessa. I believe that as well. When she gets there, it's gonna be some mess. But the thing about it is, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Like I said earlier today, they have released clips from their after show, and Phaedra is there. So I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. I appreciate you. I really, really appreciate you, Shamar. You always know you've been there for me, like with me since the beginning. Since the beginning. All right, y'all. So listen, that's my thoughts on the episode. That's my thoughts on Kenya Moore's Confessions. That's my thoughts on where Kenya, in my opinion, should be going next. Lifestyle content. Show us the salon. Show us the ups and downs of being a spa owner. Show us the creative process behind, writing these books with Brooklyn. Show us your travels. Like, we know that she loves to travel with Brooklyn. Show us all of those aspects, because what you guys may not, it's a subtle thing, but what that does is that allows her to shift her own narrative, and it allows people that may not really know certain things about her to get to know her and to relate to her on a wide range of levels. And then she also should get back into her writing and producing bag so that she can continue to get those projects out because now she's got the time, right? And Candy, who is constantly working and putting out projects, utilize those connections to now grow your brand outside of this space. Because at the end of the day, nobody should ever rely on the housewife space for a long-term income or for a long-term, like it's not a long-term solution. So you want to be able to maximize this. You got the eyes now. Take these eyes and take off running. Period. Period. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the way Kenya wins in this situation. That's the way she comes back. And it may not be coming back on Housewives of Atlanta, but that's okay because maybe it's just time to turn the page. Maybe it's time to pivot. Hey, I'll be there in November. I'll be there in November. I appreciate you. Thank 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 you. I appreciate y'all. So listen. Yeah, like there's so many possibilities, I feel like. I did hear her say she kind of she did allude to, but here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you guys this. The reason why you build a team is so that you invest in your business so that your team can help you build it and grow it. So then that your team should be helping you make more money. So your team is an investment. And because I know that there are so many talented, amazing creators down in Atlanta, people who work in film, people who work in editing and video, there is no reason why she should not be able to take that same team that helped her with her confessionals video and hire them to help her edit and post content on a regular basis. Even if you did it once a week, she would still manage to grow. Too adorable. I love your name. Says you have to watch the interview with Kelly saying she saw a Brit with a pow pow. I did. I saw it on Bro Chat's channel, but Kelly also goes on to say that even she has one. Now, I don't know. I still think that we need some answers as to why Brit says that she's never had a weapon or anything like that. Because the truth of the matter is you're owning a pow pow is not the problem. You saying it in response to what somebody said to you in a scene then becomes a problem, right? Because they don't know you yet. So that's the problem. And I'm just trying to I'm just looking at the situation objectively, right? Apparently the after show is coming next week. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, you got to find a team of people that can multitask. And here's the thing, you got it. You did it with this confessional video. You could do it again. And then those videos on YouTube, not only will they make money, but you can also advertise your products and services via YouTube. So now YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you can be marketing all of your salon products. You can be hiring new stylists. You can show it a day in the life of a salon owner. Take a good look at what Caroline Brooks did. Caroline Brooks is a great example. I don't know if you guys watch Real Housewives of Dubai, but Caroline Brooks opened up her own I think it's called Glassdoor or something like that. Oh my God, she would be I might actually reach out to her because she did a really, really good job of chronicling on social media the process of building out her salon. But I will say that also too on the show did a better job of showcasing her salon on the show. They did. They did a much better job. Much better. But that could just also be how active she was in it compared to Kenya, and I don't know what that was like. But I can only give you what she should do now, in my opinion. If I were her brand manager, I would definitely be putting her to work. We would see her every day in that salon. Just like she showed us those images of her shampooing people, like that's it right there. Get in there, show us, because that breeds familiarity for people, and then people like to people in marketing, they usually need to see something 7 times before they get it. So you got to show us something. You got to be out there hustling. That's it. Mm, I mean, yeah, like you got to do what you got to do. And yeah, even Portia has been quite regular on her YouTube channel. Here's the thing. Um, Growing a YouTube channel, it doesn't have to be hard. You just got to be willing to put in the work. That's it. That's it. And so many people have been so successful at it. Just look at Nene. Nene hadn't even been consistent, but she's managed to really, really grow. And again, Kenya Moore has a personality. She's vibrant. She's effervescent. She got it. Like, change the narrative, girl. It's time. It's time. I don't want to hear her talking about this ever again. Mm, well, oh, that's a great picture. Um, Here's the thing. We talked about it earlier. Is there much of a difference between somebody who was a webcam and somebody who was a stripper? Because we've had plenty of strippers who have been on Real Housewives. To me, it's not really a big deal. It's not an issue for me because again, we've seen this type of thing before. Um, Nene has basically said it. Mia has said it. Have I been to Singapore yet? I need to go. Everything that I've seen about Singapore is so beautiful. Oh my God. Oh, it was off for Easter. Okay. Yeah, I don't really judge people's past because I mean, I just kind of feel like I can really only go on what you do on the show. And that's the sort of thing I can hook my teeth in, I can sink my teeth into. Whatever happened a decade ago, I don't really care. Yeah, I don't really that's the statement I was responding to, Kev. Sorry. I don't really care what happened to somebody or what they did a year ago when I don't because it's just too much. It's too much. I can only deal with what's happening right now. Happy Easter, y'all. I plan to. I definitely plan to. I definitely plan to. And it's looking like it's turning out to be a pretty nice day, at least here in the DC, Maryland area, from what I can see. Anyway, y'all, I could talk to y'all forever. Look, we listen, but we don't judge. Listen, but we don't judge. Woo, that's a word right there, Takesha. That is a word. Yeah, it's like, okay, now what? What have you done for me lately? Okay. Anyway, y'all, that's it. I hadn't been live. I hadn't been live all week. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in, tapping in. Be sure to get your tickets to the Ponderosa. I'm so excited to do this with y'all here in DC. I appreciate the love and support for the people that have bought tickets. I really just wanted this to be like an intimate thing amongst us, the Sky Squad community, just because I feel like I just want to celebrate with y'all. I didn't do a whole lot of like invites to like, a lot of other people outside of this space because I wanted it to be just feel fun and down home. And I wanted it to feel like a good time with my people. So if you can make it out, I would love it. If you are in the surrounding area, DC, next Sunday, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Vino Restaurant in Washington, D.C. It's a day party, brunch, DJ. Bring your boots, bring your fans. We're going to have a good time. All right. With that being said, make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And I will catch you in the next video.